Hello, hello, hello. I'm Flora Sage, and I want to welcome you to another video where I share with you little tips and tricks about the 1 degree shift and how it can change your life. So today I want to share with you something that I heard recently online, and I had an aha moment with it, and I'm hoping you will as well. So I don't remember who said it. It was a gentleman. I was actually spent several minutes this morning Googling it, and I couldn't find it. So this is not original content, but what this gentleman said, it was a short little video, and he said, we are not all in the same boat. We're all in the same water, but some of us have yachts, some of us have a little dinghy. Some of us have a canoe, a kayak, a cruise ship, a motorboat, a jet ski. Not all of us are in the same boat. So remember, when you want help, when you need help, when you're willing to give help, reach out your hand, regardless of what type of boat that you're on. Some people have boats with holes in them, okay? When we can give ourselves permission to reach out our hand, sometimes we're giving help and sometimes we're asking for help. So when I heard him say that, I was like, phew, that's so good, because how often have you heard, oh, we're all in the same boat? And we kind of start to lose our identities when we do that. We're all in the same boat. No. I'm a white woman. I have a very different experience than a black woman here in the United States. Very different. Very, very different. I don't even know what it would be like. I've tried to put myself in their shoes and to try to think, especially when I walk my dog at night, if I were a black person walking down the street, I would probably be scared right now. Because maybe somebody will see my flashlight that I have for when I go down, the dark corridor, and they might mistake it as a gun. So we're not all in the same boat, people, but we are in the same water. So when you can give yourself permission to recognize the differences of our experiences. If someone's in a boat with a hole in it and they got their cup and they're just like dumping it out as fast as they can just to stay afloat, and somebody else is in a luxury yacht, their experiences are going to be so vastly different. So this week and over the next several weeks, I want you to pay attention to your experience. What is it like in your boat? And then I want you to also look at the other people that you pass by throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the next month. And really give yourself permission to look at and get curious about their experience. Recently I was walking my dog, and there was a gentleman sitting in his driveway, and he had a big hookah and a little table, and it had some sweets and some other treats and stuff, and then he had a bottle of whiskey, and he had his phone out, and he was playing, I think it was Iranian music. And he's like, oh, hello, how are you? And I'm like, hi. No idea who this person is, but he's like, come, you have to listen to this song. So I sat there, and like my dog's just chilling. And I listened to this song, and it was beautiful, and he's like, this is my daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. Well, we got to talking, and he's from Beirut, and he moved here 10 years ago, and we had the best conversation, and he's like, one of the things that I really, really miss about Beirut is community. He said, here in America, everybody just comes home and they click their garage door opener, they go in their garage and they close it, and that's it. And he's like, everybody just works. They work and they have no fun. They have no community. And he's like, I just miss that. And he said, back in my country, all of us, we would be out and we would talk and we would share sweets and we would share drink and we would share stories and yada yada. And he said, I haven't found that here. And he's like, and it was just so incredible seeing his perspective, seeing life from his boat. And I shared with him some of my perspective. I've traveled overseas. I lived in South Africa. I lived in Okinawa. And it very much is the same way in those communities as well, where people come together, and a meal isn't just 20 minutes sitting at the table. It's literally 3 hours of talking and laughing, and the food is kind of secondary to the community and to the conversation. And it is such a huge difference in cultures and in lifestyles. And so when you give yourself permission to be open and curious to what someone else's experience is, life is so much more beautiful, because then you start to look at and see life differently. You start to look at each person as an individual, not as this amalgamation of literally everybody being in the same boat, because that is absolutely not the case. That is not the case. The benefit of doing this is you get outside of your own head. You get outside of your own bubble that all of us have been in over the past year because of COVID, and you start to get more excited about life. My clients that have been, working through this, myself, I've been working through this. You start to get more excited about life because you start to see how each person has their own story. Each person has their own experiences. Each person has their own wisdom and insight and stories that just make life amazing. So this next week, I would encourage you to look at your life, look at your experiences, look at the uniqueness that is you, and then also get curious about someone else in your life that you may not have been curious about, and start up a conversation with them. Ask them, where are you from? What's your most fondest childhood memory, or whatever, and just ask a couple random questions and just kind of, start to get the ball rolling and start to get curious. And when you get curious, like I said, you're gonna start to see things, you're gonna start to experience things, you're gonna start to gain insight of things that you didn't really know was there. So I hope that this helps you. I hope this serves you. I love you. And if you haven't gotten your copy of The 1 Degree Shift, click the link in the comments and grab your copy today. I love you very much. And I'm curious to see what your experience with this is. So if you do choose to do this, please come back to this video, share with me in the comments, wherever the comments are, what you experienced because of getting curious. All right, I love you. Mwah.